season, or do that so we can catch up with those ones. I don't know. It's things like Encore and High School Musical and Diary of a Future President. There's going to be a long stretch of content coming for at least 3 months. So that is at least maybe something if you've had no concept of what's going on with it.
Yeah, that's the crux of it, I suppose. It's like, okay, we want to make it so that there's content week to week to week, and you guys will have new stuff every single week. It's like there's already going to be new stuff every week. You don't need to artificially spread out stuff that people like you who've got the VPN set up working have already seen it.
Yeah.
Other people who have seen alternative means to see it, they've already seen it. Yeah, that kind of alternative means. I think people figured that one out. That leaves only the people who didn't know about it in the first place, which really isn't going to be much of your target audience anyway, because Star Wars fans knew about it. And even if you were just a casual fan, you might not have seen ads for it, but you definitely heard other Star Wars fans going, "Oh, Baby Yoda and Mandalorian," and
the chances of them being spoiler free for 4 months. But by the time the episodes hit in May, it's like 5 months. Hopefully we're not going to have this problem for very long, but it just feels a little bit like, Diary of a Future President and High School Music. I can see maybe why they stretched them out a little bit, but things like the Imagineering story, it's like, we might as well just drop that all at once and just have it there. But I'm just assuming they just do not want people dropping in for that seven days and being gone 7 days later. There is an offer right now. You can get £10 off or €10 off if you do it before Tuesday. So if you are going to be doing the year option, do it. Obviously, if you're thinking now, money, then do it month to month. But maybe if you're thinking, actually, I am going to be home for the next 3 to 4 months, I might as well, and I'm going to get my use out of it. That's a way. Also, just a quick note as well. If you are a Disney Life subscriber in the UK and Ireland, that's shutting down in April. So there's only about a month left of that platform before that completely shuts down. You will not be automatically transferred onto Disney Plus. You need to take out a new subscription for Disney Plus if you are a Disney Life subscriber. So just a quick note there. I did actually went in a few weeks ago and cancelled my direct deb, or cancelled my account, because literally it was closing down, I think, like yesterday. So I'd have been another month's credit from like a few days ago right through to the end of the. I was like, no, I don't need it. I might as well just cancel it because I'm not going to run it. But just a quick note there. Right. Also, with regards to more international news, the launch of India's Disney Plus was set to come later this month. However, again, due to the current climate, they have said that they are briefly pausing the rollout of Disney Plus, primarily because it was supposed to be launching in conjunction with the Indian Premier League of Cricket. But because of that season being delayed, that they've revised to a new date. No official date for when that's coming yet. But obviously, because Disney in India are doing a whole different thing. They've already got this service called Hotstar, which has got like 300 million users a month. And they're going to like rebrand Hotstar, Disney Plus, and merge it all in together. So that was a bit of a kind of... It's a blow for them, but maybe with the European launch and the amount of people doing it, and also India, I think, are going into lockdown as well. They're doing trial lockdowns. Maybe they're worried about the same problem again of everyone logging in at the wrong time. It's just not going to work.
With the population density of India, I'm kind of surprised they haven't been in lockdown already, to be honest. But getting back onto the part that interests us, I suppose, since they do already have Hotstar, I don't think it's too much of a priority for them to get Disney Plus out there. So if they're going to delay somewhere, might as well be there. And they're really not going to feel too much of the impact. It'll be interesting to see if they put some of the Disney Plus originals onto Hotstar directly, though.
Yeah. I think they'll probably just hold off by the looks of it. But the app is actually updated, because I did actually download the Hotstar app onto my phone, and the icon and everything, all the coloring is identical to literally, you start fire it up and it literally just looks like Disney Plus. There, that the logo and everything has already been updated, though it's got a lot of different content once you're in there. But it is actually kind of interesting to see how they're going to do this with Hotstar. Moving on from there, a couple of last quick things, really. Ahsoka Tano is set to start in the new Mandalorian Season 2, according to Slash Film, and it's been then picked up by Variety and the things, etc., to kind of confirm it. Luke Cage star Rosario Dawson is going to be playing the role, and she's been known. This has been kind of someone that people have been wanting her to play this for a while. So yeah, it looks like she's coming to the live action screen, which makes sense since Dave Filoni is the co-creator of her, and kind of has done our whole story for the animated series. Kind of makes sense for him to kind of maybe direct or kind of bring her to the screen for the first time.
Yeah, and I think it's a good choice for Ahsoka. I'm generally not a big fan of the current direction of everybody knows everybody in the Star Wars universe, and we'll find out somewhere along the line that Ahsoka somehow knew Darth Revan or something like that. But this one makes sense, at least, because the Mandalorian's going to be out there looking for somebody who can help him take care of this Force-sensitive baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka is one of the only characters out there. Now, obviously, you can't do Luke Skywalker because for some reason they just don't want to tell that story. So Ahsoka's the obvious choice, and she's a fan favorite. And even if she's only in like an episode of The Mandalorian, at least setting the precedent of who the actress would be to play her sets her up to show up elsewhere.
Set her up for her own Disney Plus show, doesn't it? It's quite nicely.
I'd be fine with that, honestly.
There is no chance that they are not thinking of using her as this is a launch pad to give her her own series. There is,
and Rosario Dawson is already a decent sized actress on her own. She's got a reputation. She was in a lot of the Defenders stuff on Netflix. She has her own career outside of that. She's done voices for a lot of the DC animated movies. It's not like they're like, we're just going to put an unknown actress out there, and if it works out, we can build something. No, this is like, we have a name actress in a role that people want to see. This will absolutely come back again. Now, I will say, I hope that any potential live action Ahsoka story is not the completion of the Ezra story. I'd like to see that on its own. I'd like to see it in basically the same style as Rebels.
Well, they are doing is an animated series going on that's already been in production and stuff. That was probably going to be something along those lines. I think it's supposed to be Ahsoka and Sabine kind of doing that whole thing. So, and again, those kind of shows in some ways will be all right, a lot better during this current crisis, because the animated series and all the rest of it can be done from home and from locations and remote work, because it's a lot easier for them to do that. They can still send someone around with all the equipment around to somebody's house and do the voiceover and all the rest. It's a lot easier to kind of, or bring them into the studio and keep them separate. And, that kind of work is going to be a lot easier. So to keep them going, but I think it's good. I definitely think this is going to be a launch pad, because they've already said about doing Mandalorian spin-offs. This one would be prime thing. And also being older as well, it would be a bit easier to go after the adult audience rather than it be like a teenage version of her.
Right. And the one question left for me is, will we see Ahsoka by herself, or are Sabine and or Hera going to pop in here at some point? Because even without the whole, Sabine, the further adventures of Sabine and Ahsoka that you were just talking about, we already know they're pretty tight-knit. Sabine has her own connections to the Darksaber and the Mandalorians, of course. She is a Mandalorian. It would make sense to bring her in. I mean, it would be a bit of a style clash with her whole artsy side and the bright purple and orange armor.
But she would be a lot older now, wouldn't she? Because Rebels is set before A New Hope, so this is set after Return of the Jedi. So she would be more older. So they could kind of maybe tone it down a little bit.
They could. We do have a very brief glimpse of her post Return of the Jedi at the end of the Rebels series, because she's doing the voiceover monologue explaining what happened. And I think we see her armor, and it is a more muted version of what she normally wears. They could come up with all sorts of excuses to have her go to a more traditional style.
Was the ghost in the end scene of Rise of Skywalker?
It was. I think it was, or at the very least the same model, but I have to assume it was the ghost. I would be amazed if Sabine was still floating around at that point. It's more likely it's Hera's kid piloting.
Yeah, so there's lots of fun stuff. It's nice to kind of see some kind of bits and pieces coming out there. But I think generally as a whole, there's been kind of quite a nice bit of. I really wasn't sure what was going to happen. This, like, with everything going on, of like how was we going to like kind of everything just going to kind of slow down and stop. But obviously Disney have kind of sort of stockpiled TV shows and movies and things like that. Anyway, I think as well there was the issue of going on with the writers' strike set to take place in May, so they've been stockpiling stuff up, and we're just going to have to see. We're probably going to start seeing some very different kind of shows and movies arriving on Disney Plus in the winter, because that's when it's going to hit. It's a production now of what they're going to do, because how long this is going to go on for, and how, you know, we are going to see some different kind of content. I think smaller content, you know, maybe not quite such big budget stuff. You know, they are going to be planning right now and scratching around, trying to get together the best content they can with trying to not use people in massive amount of people in massive locations and trying to do stuff from home. They can't set, you know, it depends how long America and stuff are on lockdown for.
That's the real question, and we don't know. There is no answer for that. I know that's unsatisfactory. I want to know. I want to be like, all right, this will be done at the end of April. Just got to get to the end of April, but can't say that. We have no idea how long this is going to go.
No, well, I mean, I think there's that kind of thing of, I think, because obviously like, our government have been very much about the fact of trying to fight it for the next 12 weeks, but they've also said it might go on longer, and advising people that it will be going on to the end of, these measures will probably be in place to the end of the year, and that we need to get used to social distancing becoming the norm. And it's that kind of difference of like, they're going to have to start making changes to how, because eventually they're all going to start running out of content, and they're going to have to come up with new ways of, you know, maybe like with filming and stuff, where you only get like 2 or 3 people together of the people that they start filming smarter. You know, maybe you only have minimum amount of people filming, you know, that one particular scene, rather there's going to be no massive scenes with massive numbers of extras. There'll be no extras in any scene or something like that, you know. And everything,
somewhere in his Skywalker ranch, George Lucas is going, this is what I created all my technology for, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be one of those strange things. I mean, I'm hoping Disney Plus have got enough to keep us going for the foreseeable future, but they've also got to be filming and getting ready for the next wave of stuff. And I'm sure there's going to be a massive explosion of content. I mean, this is just going to delay everything. I mean, you know, all the Marvel shows, all the Star Wars shows, all the live action stuff, everything is now essentially on hold. And there's no point sitting there going, it's set to come to Disney Plus in January 2021. Well, that could be pushed back. Everything is just going to get pushed back. Luckily, Disney have got a massive archive to bring stuff to Disney Plus. They've got that massive National Geographic stuff. They're probably going to go diving into anything from ABC and Freeform, and they're going to use this period, I think, as a crutch, because not only are they going to have to do it now, they're going to have to do it in the winter as well, of using all this to keep subscribers happy. And I think we're going to see a massive amount more of library content, because it's the only thing that they've got in their, you know, their back catalog. You know, it's like, right, we need content, right, digitalize stuff, get it going, do it at home, take these files home and sort it out. And you just can see that that's got to be a plan, isn't it?
It's got to be part of the plan, at least, and it's probably a big portion of it. But there are 2 silver linings to this. One, you've got a whole bunch of writers who are stuck at home with nothing to do but write, which we've seen in writer strikes in the past generally results in some very interesting movies and shows coming out of that. So that's one silver lining. The other silver lining is that truly creative people, both art, writing, music, you know, all of it, all the creative stuff, when you put extreme restrictions on them, like you're seeing here, extreme roadblocks and ways, sure, a lot of them are going to buckle under it and not be able to produce stuff. But the really, really good ones are going to shine, and we are going to see some crazy artistic stuff coming out in the next year as people develop ways of continuing to do what they do in these circumstances and with extremely limited resources.
Yeah, I also think as well as I do wonder if this might change up how like filming and stuff is done forever, in terms of, you know, they might be along the lines of, right, we can never go back to 100% what we did before because this problem might happen again, or we need to start making sure we've got alternative systems. Maybe the concept of having large extras might never come back. You know, we just don't know. And, you know, filming in front of green screens by themselves and, you know, because there's that whole thing as well. You get someone go into a studio,